What is going on, guys? Taylor Jones Official checking in here from Salt Lake City. Well, actually American Fork, Utah. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. In this video, I'm going to be covering on my walk today the step-by-step process 1 through 5. Who knows, maybe we'll go to 10. How to gain financial independence, location freedom, and begin selling on Amazon and start a business, an inventory-based business like Amazon FBA. So if you guys are looking to, have that ability to make money from anywhere, to scale an Amazon FBA business, specifically with online arbitrage, stick around to the end, because by the end of this video, you guys will have an exact roadmap of how to do this. And I'm also going to walk you through the step-by-step process of how I did this. So I'm going to share quickly my story, and then I'm going to give you guys of how I did it, of where I started 45 years ago, and then I'm going to give you guys a quick breakdown of how you can do the exact same thing, and it's not too late. Okay, so let's go way back to 2019 actually. Beginning of 2019, I was in Colombia. I had no money, probably $50 to $100 in my bank account. Credit cards were maxed out. I had about $7,000 of personal credit maxed out from traveling. And I called my grandma. I was like, "Grandma, can you get me a plane ticket?" This is 2019, January. I was in Cusco, Peru. Called my grandma. I was like, "Grandma," my dad was in New York at the time, and I was living with him, and I refused to go back home. I was like, I haven't finished this, yet. And then I called my grandma. She bought me a flight, and I flew from Cusco, Peru up to Florida, and I was in Davenport, Florida, near Orlando. And I'm there, and at that point, I discovered Grant Cardone at the time. It got me into entrepreneurship, and I just dreaded going back to work for a job that I hated, making slave wages, busting my ass for 40, 50 hours a week for a company that didn't give a shit about me. I refused to do it. But then after I started binge watching Grant Cardone's content, I really learned that, okay, I don't know if I'm at that point yet where I even have an at-bat at being an entrepreneur. So I need to learn some sales skills. That's what he told me. So I went and got a job, and I grinded that year from March through the rest of the year. For the next 9 months, I had 3 different sales jobs. I was saving money and paying off all that debt, learning, binge watching podcasts, and trying to understand what was I doing wrong with this money game. And here's a couple things that I learned, guys. So basically, at the end of that runaround, I started reselling. End of that year, December 2019, January 2020. That's when I really started reselling. And at that time, I was working a salary job at Xerox. And when I discovered Amazon FBA, that was when it just clicked in my brain. I was like, you know what? This is the opportunity that I've been looking for. This is going to be the thing that gives me the ability to quit my job, to live on my own terms, to travel the world, and to make a shit ton of money. It's not a job. It's going to be this. It's going to be a business. At the time, I had no credit. I had barely no cash. So literally, January 2020, I was maxing out my personal credit cards on inventory and paying them off and buying more inventory. All retail arbitrage. And so now we're going to get into what I would do if I was just getting started. And I would do what I would do. I would take the cash that you have, go buy retail arbitrage inventory, flip it on eBay, flip it on Facebook Marketplace, set up an Amazon account, flip it on Amazon. Start learning the flipping game. That's the first thing I would do. Second thing I would do, pay off all of your personal credit cards, get an EIN, get an LLC, and get business credit. Get an Amex Gold, Amex Plum. Make sure your credit score is above a 720. Call Experian, get all of your disputes, your your inquiries removed, get a 720, apply for an Amex business card. Then, after you've flipped for a little bit, here's what I would do. I would start getting into the OA game, and I'd be like, okay, well, what's OA? Online arbitrage. I'd start learning. How do I find profitable products on the internet from like retail websites, you know? And then you want to scale in respect to your experience and your lessons learned. So what, first week, only buy $500. Wait for it to sell. 2 weeks later, spend $1,000. Wait for it to sell. Because every buying cycle that you go through, you're going to make very big mistakes, right? Worst thing you could do is take all 10 grand that you have your first month selling on Amazon, blow it all on one product, and now you're screwed. Same thing for day trading, you know, or crypto trading. I was learning about this a couple years ago. They only ever trade 1% of your portfolio at a time or something like that. And the reason being is you only win like less than 50% of your trades, you lose. Similar to Amazon, you are going to break even on probably 10% of the products that you buy. You're going to make a shit ton of money on 50%, and you're going to be close to break even, maybe have a little bit of a, you know, lower ROI on 30%. It's just the way the numbers land, you know? So the key is to be strategic and scale slowly, because you're more likely to make mistakes at the beginning of the process. Okay, so Taylor, you said get into OA. How do I do that? First things first, you're going to get the Keepa.com. You're going to get a membership. It's like $20 a month. You're going to get a Seller Amp membership so you can store stock. You're going to get an Amazon Seller Professional account. I believe that's like $40. You're going to get one of those, and then you're just going to jump right in. Don't spend too much time watching content like this. Very big mistake. Very big mistake that early on people make. They think, okay, well, I don't want to lose money because this is a business and it's dangerous. I don't want to take on too much risk. I'm going to binge watch content for months, but never get started. Worst thing you could do. I watched one Reezy resells video when I was getting into RA, and I hit the Walmarts. I put the phone down. I stopped watching YouTube. Well, excuse me. I picked the phone up, started scanning. Go to the stores and start scanning. Then, after about 3 months in, you should have the skill fully refined. If you want to speed this process up to about a month, hire a coach. If you guys are interested in working with me one-on-one or in a group coaching setting to learn how to sell on Amazon, send me a DM on Instagram at TaylorJones_official. Click one of the links in the description below, okay? That's what you do. It's really that simple. At about the 3-month point, that's when you should have the skill fully refined. And that's when you're going to want to start looking for opportunities that you can go really, really deep on. Okay? You can buy 1,000, 2,000 units, or at least a couple hundred. Okay? 30, 40% ROI. Unicorn opportunities. That should make up, hopefully, 40, 50% of your portfolio. And then you have some smaller opportunities scattered out a little bit wider, you know? And then here's the plan. If you're averaging a 30% ROI, you only need to spend 100 grand. If you spend 100 grand, you make 30,000. If you spend 50 grand, you still make $15,000 a month. I bet most of you guys, your monthly expenses are less than 5 grand. What does that mean? That means you only need to spend a third of 50,000. What's that? Less than 17, 15, like 16,500. If you spend $16,500 at a 30% ROI, you're gonna make 5 grand a month. And you can do this from anywhere in the world if you use a third-party prep center. How cool is that? It's amazing. Okay. So guys, I'm glad you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.